Hi all, I'm John Cunningham-Ryan, Senior Library Assistant with Wexford Library Services, and I'm going to talk to you about a book called They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Now, technically, this book would be classed as a science fiction book. The concept, the author brings us this idea of a computer program called a death cast. So in the future, this computer program can give 24-hour notice to somebody when they're going to die. But for those maybe who don't read science fiction, don't let this put you off the book. This is a very small part of the book. The book doesn't get into the whole sciencey side of it. Really, this book is a book that deals with raw emotions, family, friendships, mortality. You can, if you wish, ignore the whole science fiction bit. But before I get into the book, I'd just like to give you a quote because I just love Adam Silvera's work, his other books. He just has an amazing way with words. I suppose that's his job. But I really like this quote anyway. You may be born into family, but you walk into friendships. Some you'll discover you should put behind you, others are worth every risk. I just really like that. So you might wonder to yourself, why would you even bother reading the book? Sure, the title tells you everything you need to know, but in a small percentage of cases, the Deathcast computer program gets it wrong. So I'm not going to give any spoilers away. You're just going to have to read the book to find out if they do actually both die at the end. So, ironically, this book isn't actually about dying. It's about getting as much living done as possible on your last day, or I suppose as Andy Dufresne in The Shawshank Redemption said, you either get busy living or get busy dying. It's just such a poignant book. I'll just give you a little bit more plot. On September the 5th, just after midnight, the two main characters, Mateo Torres and Rufus Emeterio, get the call to say they're going to die in the next 24 hours. They've never met, of course, but there's an app. There's an app for everything, isn't there? So there's an app that people can go on to share their end day. I suppose it's a way for people to be not on their own if they don't have any family or friends. It's really amazing in this book actually how the whole world, how there's loads of businesses and services available for people experiencing their end day, and it's just normal. Everybody treats it as normal that it's happening. It's just really strange, but it's surprisingly interesting because really, if you think about it, what would you do if you got 24-hour notice? Or you knew you were going to die in the next 24 hours, what would you do? What's your bucket list? What would you say to the people you love? What would you maybe say or do to the people you hate? Yeah, it's really interesting. I just love the concept of it, and the author deals with it brilliantly. This author is also Adam Silvera. He's really, really good at his character developments. Both the main characters, Mateo and Rufus, they're really complex and diverse. Mateo is Puerto Rican. We learn at the start of the book his dad is actually in a coma, so Mateo's only wish really is that his dad will wake up so he can talk to him one last time. And Rufus is a Cuban American bisexual teen who has ended up in an orphanage. He's had a really tough life. Mateo is also gay. So both boys, they are, well, on the outside, on the surface, they seem completely different, introverted and extroverted. Mateo he's just the person you want to protect and keep away from this cruel world. Like, he shouldn't know that he only has 24 hours to live. He's full of anxieties, neuroses, and the author just makes these really realistic. You can just emote with Mateo. You're empathic with how he feels. But along with Rufus actually, he really helps Mateo conquer his fears and I suppose gain control over his thoughts, and to get as much as he can out of his last day. Rufus on the exterior, he's like rough, ready around the edges. He's aggressive, I suppose, but that's actually covering up a really compassionate selfless individual. He'll just do anything for his friends and for the people he loves. Um, the the two characters are just wonderfully constructed. Um, Separately, they're really really good, and together they're amazing. They of course slowly start to fall in love. You would expect that, but as I say, I'm not going to give you any spoilers. You're just going to have to read the book and find out. Um, Despite the title of the book, as I already said, this book isn't about dying. It's about love, happiness, hope. It's really crazy how you can actually like a book and keep turning the pages, even though it's dealing with death. Um, there's just a great irony about that as well, I suppose. Some people might even be tempted not to read the last chapter, a bit like some people haven't read the last Harry Potter book because they don't want it to end and they don't want to know how it ends. But you have to. You just have to keep turning the pages. So, I would give this book "They Both Die at the End" by Adam Silvera a high mark of 8 out of 10. Now, in saying that, most books that I give a high mark to can certainly um, measure up to a second reading. The first time you read a book, it's really your emotions and your excitement that you keep, well, why I keep turning the pages anyway. And then the second time and subsequent times you read a book, you're probably more a little bit analytical, excuse me. But I don't know. I actually haven't read this book a second time, and I don't know if you could read it with as much fervor, I suppose. But anyway, that's me done for this book. If you like Adam Silvera's work, History Is All You Left Me is also another fantastic read. So if you like my review or if you've read the book, please comment below and also share it. Thank you very much.